Hello guys, I hope that you are doing well. This video has the potential to save you a lot of injuries, time and money wasted. So I think it's going to be a quite interesting topic. Let's dig right into it. I will give you some background first to understand where I'm coming from. Since when I was very little, I always did some sports. I started with football. Obviously I have the normal Hungarian talent, so I skipped that. I got hooked on skateboarding, which was not just fun because I had less talent for it and I had a swollen or twisted ankle every other week, but what really made me stick to it is that I could fine-tune and hack the skateboard however you wanted. I always liked to ride the bicycle, you know, like a hobby, what you do every now and then. But when I got really hooked, it was the time when I figured it out that, whoa, you can actually repair things on your bicycle. Now you probably start to see the pattern. Quickly I changed to downhill. Not like as in downhill from here, but as downhill bicycle, piece by piece learning my way through a lot of mistakes, sometimes risking pretty nasty injuries, but I got there eventually. I had a somewhat usable bicycle, I had a lot of fun with it, and I learned a lot along the way. For at least about 10 years I had so many bicycles, I have a hard time remembering all of them. Eventually I think I should have one on Crete somewhere. One thing is in common with all of those is that I started to be attached whenever I had to do a lot of work on it or tune it to make it work really. I would say something along these lines: the more struggle, the stronger the bond will be with my bicycle. So it quickly all ended up me going everywhere on my bicycle. I haven't used public transportation, I was barely using car, and if you remember that, I bicycled home from London to Budapest. I could never ever imagine myself owning a car and being attached to a car. As many of you may know, it actually changed around 2 years ago with this old convertible. It was the first ever car which started to talk to me. I didn't feel like I need a car, but I was like, what the heck, why not trying it out, what it feels like to own a car. We've gathered quite a lot of good memories together, but more importantly, because that is a 20-something years old car, of course, it's never perfect. I replaced the window wiper motor, I replaced the tires, and you know, the smaller tasks every now and then. Till the day when I needed to replace the roof. Hello boys and girls, this is great fun to have a cabrio, but one thing is for sure, if you need to put the roof on like this, igen. So yeah, this is kind of a big issue, at least for me. So now this will be the target to solve this. Well, that could be a video on its own, but I will spare your time and I'm not going to convert this channel to an auto repair mechanic one. So let's skip that. But the point being is that I started from barely being able to put fuel into the car because I had no experience to the point where I was able to replace the roof on my car. The only problem happened along the way. I think you guessed it. I got a little bit too attached to this car. Previously, I had no issues hauling stuff with it, bringing bicycles and everything. But then I started to feel like maybe I wanna save this car for better reasons. Once upon a time where I faced this challenge that I needed to move a fridge and a boiler or water heater, I was thinking about hiring a car, renting a car, but actually I felt like maybe I could find something which is reasonably close to the amount of money I would spend on renting a car. The plan was simple: having a really cheap car, which is preferably not far from the model which I'm having, so I can practice my car mechanic skills. Probably I will have it till the papers are valid. The plan was to keep the distance, you know, have it running, but don't do anything else with it, just enjoy that it is running, it was cheap, and I can do whatever with it. It took me to work and back to work, even in the coldest winter, even on summer tires. It took all my junk, it didn't ask for anything, it didn't leave me in trouble at all. And after all these adventures, well, you guessed it. When the car inspection date came closer and closer, I was like, maybe I should keep this car, because it was such a trustworthy car. So yeah, I would keep it. But it obviously needed quite a lot of repair to be able to pass this exam and basically to be able to be called as a car. Luckily, my friend volunteered to help me out with these numerous topics which I had no experience in. We have spent many hours at his place after work to actually fix this car. The rear and the front shocks needed to be replaced, new timing belt, water pump, oil change. Minor issues happened during the assembly of the front shocks. This resulted in the additional replacement of parts in the front axle. Well, this was the urgent work required to make it mechanically functional. But the big deal is just coming up, the rust. One of the main showstoppers of old cars is rust. Once rust develops, you can't entirely fix that. You can just delay it from getting worse. We got rid of all of the rust where we could, filled the holes with putty, sometimes created the shape of the car from ground zero, sanded everything down several times, doing it by hand to fill the curves. This is the time when you can get really intimate with your car. Priming, painting, finishing, sometimes doing the cycle all over again, because we are bound to make mistakes at 2 AM. Some bigger things needed to be addressed, like the fuel tank is leaking. Not much, just to be able to smell fuel everywhere. But at the same time, we have found a hole in the floor of the car next to the driver's seat. I managed to borrow a welder, so we made the hole a lot bigger, and my friend welded some piece of metal back into the floor while I was putting out fires under the car next to the leaking fuel tank. Fun times, but everything came together very nicely. I was proud to own this car. Finally, this small piece of junk felt like a car again. The only thing left now my poor girl was stationary in the queue when an SUV didn't stop, so it just smashed right into it. It caused damage in 5 cars in total. Here you can see the results, all the spots where I was sanding it with my hand for hours and hours, all the money spent on new parts, the bond which developed during the time spent together. Shortly summarized by the insurance company in yes. Basically, this is the price tag what they put to this magnificent German engineering. I made this video hoping that you won't fall into the same trap as I did. Probably, if you're interested in cars, you will do the same mistakes. So you shouldn't be attached to things which can be broken really easily. Before you ask, there were no serious injuries connected to this accident, so no humans were harmed, okay? I hope you gained something from this video and maybe enjoyed it as well. Anyhow, as you can see, I have a lot of things to do. Sorry for lagging behind with the videos, but hopefully see you in the next one. Bye guys.